Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Rest, and in this video I want to go over the Necrotic grip. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Rest, isn't it a little late to go over the Necrotic grip? You know, they've been out for a little bit, but you know, I just want to give my opinion on it, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. But the Necrotic grip has the exotic perk Grasp of the Devourer. Damaging combatants with a melee attack corrupts them with increasing damage over time. Defeating a corrupted combatant spreads the corrupting effect to nearby targets and restores melee energy. That is a very hefty perk, and on paper it seems to be really good. And I'm happy to say, even in game, it is still very good. So the way Necrotic grip is actually going to work is when you melee an enemy, you're going to apply poison to this enemy, and it's going to cause damage over time. The damage over time on single targets is definitely not the greatest in the game, but it is extra damage. So if you're running things like a trench barrel shotgun, you can run up and melee an enemy to apply poison, which is also going to proc your trench barrel to make your shotgun do more damage, and now you have two instances of damage on an enemy. So for single target, this is just a flat more damage bonus, which is very, very good. Now the main thing for these exotic gauntlets is the ad clear. So as it read, when you kill an enemy with this corruption on them, it's actually going to spread and cause other enemies to be corrupted. So when it spreads, all these enemies that are going to become corrupted are going to eventually die, and then when they die to the corruption, they're also going to spread the corruption, and it's a never-ending chain. If you're in a room where there's a bunch of enemies chasing you, you're going to pretty much always have this corruption up at all times, like enemies spreading around over and over again. On lower tier enemies, this corruption can straight up just kill enemies very easily, which is very, very nice, and one melee can pretty much clear out a whole room of ads. Now the other effect is that when it spreads, it's actually going to restore melee energy, but it seems to be kind of iffy with that. You don't get a super amount of melee energy with that. So if you want to run this with a pure melee focus build, I still highly recommend running some strength to take the most advantage of it. But the good thing is this perk does not only proc your melee ability, it also procs with just normal melees. You can run up and punch an enemy and they're going to apply the poison. You do not have to have your melee ability like some melee exotics. So what makes this really good is if you punch a lower tier at, you're normally just going to one-shot them with your melee, but since you're technically applying the poison to them, your melee attacks are going to have a dragonfly-like explosion to spread poison around that are also going to affect other enemies. So this exotic is overall probably one of the new best neutral PvE exotics for a warlock, simply because of the utility. You can have a little bit more damage, you can have a nice AoE clear, and they also are super fun to use and look super cool. Now, a secret benefit that actually works with this is that it does work with Thorn. If you get kills with Thorn, it is also going to proc this corruption explosion, and that is also going to spread to start killing more enemies. It's going to give you your melee ability back, and it's gonna work very, very well. So if you pair the Necrotic grip with Thorn, you have a very, very good ad clear style build that is just going to be able to clear huge ad rooms very, very easily. One throwback to that playstyle specifically though is the fact that Thorn does not have a catalyst, so you cannot generate orbs on multi-kills, which kind of makes it bad in PvE, but it is still very, very good. And I can imagine when Thorn gets a catalyst so he can generate orbs, this build is going to be top tier. But in PvP, this also works very well. Thorn will also proc it in PvP, and your melee attacks will obviously also proc it as well. This is definitely not the greatest thing in PvP, but it still is very good and can be annoying. But overall, I would definitely rate this as being a new top tier warlock exotic for PvE and maybe even PvP, but specifically for PvE. It's going to be good for single target damage, it's going to be good for ad clear, and like I said, it is a ton of fun to use. But that is going to do it all for my review of the Necrotic grip. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you enjoy, consider subscribing and dropping a like. It's free and I truly appreciate it. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I had to put my pride to the side. I know that the time